shark napping, grand theft ultimate, unlawful flanking with intent to disrupt, disturbing the peace and the enemy backline, repeated assault with deadly accuracy. How do you plead?
My name is Jeff.
Do you want to commit these crimes in the enemy backline? Well then, I have a guide for you. Welcome to an overview of what I have dubbed Little Menace. This is a playstyle that I've been using while playing Jeff the Landshark in Marvel Rivals. Most people associate support characters with being in the backline. I agree, except not the backline you might be thinking of. This playstyle revolves heavily around the use of your shift ability, hide and seek, to get into strategic positions, while also enabling you to get out safely. This is also a powerful strategy when combined with his ultimate, It's Jeff, because it makes it harder to know where you're coming from. So, how exactly do you execute this playstyle? It's relatively simple, and will constantly leave the enemy team guessing. Step 1. Pre-engagement. Before committing to a backline flank, assess the battlefield. Identify priority targets. Squishy backliners like healers or snipers are your bread and butter. Check cooldowns. Make sure your shift ability is ready before you go in, as well as always make sure you have at least one bubble, so in case you do get hit, you can heal yourself in a pinch. If the enemy has hard crowd control abilities, wait for them to be used before diving, or wait for them to move away and to leave their backline exposed. Coordinate with your team. A well-timed dive paired with your team's aggression can secure easy kills. Step 2. The dive. Here's how to execute the dive effectively. First and foremost, and probably the most obvious, you're going to want to shift into the backline. Now, you're going to want to try and remain unseen. I think in lower levels you can kind of get away with, kind of shifting straight past them. But especially with Jeff's newest skin, Incognito Dolphin, you're kind of a big pink fuzzy traffic cone that's passing by, and most of the time they'll spot you out. So also make sure that you're utilizing his wall climb ability that he has on shift to remain unseen. Scout your target. Use the camera to spot out a lone healer or a low health target. Position yourself strategically before engaging. Engage and distract. Take pot shots or even go for the kill. Pot shots are especially powerful when you have a Luna on your team, as her team up temporarily increases your damage output. Distraction is success. Even if you don't secure a kill, don't feel bad. The disruption and chaos you cause can turn the tide of battle. A well-timed poke or distraction can pull enemies out of position. Step 3. Adding the ultimate. When you have your ultimate, It's Jeff, repeat the process with a twist. Surprise and ult. Shift into their backline as before, remaining unseen, but this time, don't take pot shots, don't shoot immediately, just sit and wait. Use the element of surprise to unleash your ultimate from an unexpected angle. This allows you to get at least 2 people per ultimate because they don't know where you're coming from, and thus it's a lot harder to dodge. Step 4. The escape. After the dive, you're a high priority target. Jeff's agility makes him hard to hit, so stay unpredictable. Use natural cover and zigzag patterns to avoid damage. And don't forget to have a little fun. Play the chase. Often, 1 or 2 enemies will chase you. Use unpredictable routes and delay them long enough for your team to secure an advantage. Step 5. Rinse and repeat. Little Man is one who can cause constant chaos in their backline. Once you've escaped, gathered all your resources, and regrouped with your team, you can go off on that flank again. Just make sure to play into the unpredictability aspect of his kit. Make sure you're utilizing your wall climbs and your healing bubbles to not only keep yourself alive, but to also distract the enemy team while they're confused and trying to catch you in the backline. And before I let you go be a menace in the enemy backline, here's some tips and tricks. Bait abilities. Sometimes a quick feint with shift can bait out enemy cooldowns, making your next dive safer. Flank routes. Learn the maps and use less traveled paths to approach enemies undetected. Team play. While you're slippery, you're not invincible. You are a little guy after all. Coordinate with teammates to ensure you're not diving into a 1v5. Adapt. If the enemy team starts focusing you, play more conservatively or switch off your timing to keep them off balance. Range. Jeff's healing has a crazy long range. More often than not, you can still reach your team from the backline. Thanks for checking out this quick guide on how to be a little menace. By mastering Jeff's mobility and knowing when to engage and disengage, you'll leave the enemy team frustrated and your team impressed. So, get out there and go commit some crimes.